Hey, hi, hello. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Hopefully, you guys are having a great Friday. It is the end of the week, work week, anyway. So, we're all off, hopefully, this weekend, and you guys are going to have a relaxing weekend, hopefully, planned. But if you're new to the channel, hi, hello. My name is Tanya. You can call me Tanya or Titanium Bill. I don't prefer one over the other. Tonight, we've got a couple, I guess, co host. We have this one here. Her name is Araya Lee. They do go by their first and middle names. And then we've got this one here. The gray one is Mia Grace. So I do have a couple co-hosts that they're back there just chilling, sleeping. They're not doing a very good job. They're sleeping, sleeping on the job. They're fired. But anyway, thank you guys all for being here tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about Sebastian Rogers and the madness that's going on in that case. But before we get to that, I'll say hi to some people in the chat. And if you guys don't mind just taking a second, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you appreciate the content. We do go over a lot of different cases on this channel. So if you see me tomorrow go over a different case, it doesn't mean we're never going back to Sebastian. It just means we rotate them. And I saw Leslie became a member. Look at this. I put StreamYard up there. Like StreamYard cares. Like I care what StreamYard says, actually. Well, I thought you were always a member, Leslie. But thank you. Mr. Petito dropped out. Yeah, Margot. Yeah, he dropped out. He didn't make it the first day. He didn't even make it in there. Hey, Margot. Hey, Ladybug. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Mary Beth. I saw you got a new phone. That's good. The steak quesadilla tonight. That sounds good. That's what Vincent kind of had. Well, not quesadilla, but we got Chipotle and he got the steak. That's close enough to a quesadilla to me. And welcome, everybody. Hey, Catherine. Hey, Lenora. Hey, Catherine with the K. Catherine with the C. DM, KW, Sailors here. We're all here. We're all here tonight. Mary Beth gifted a membership. I don't know who got it. Oh, Heidi did. I saw it before it escaped on me. Hey, Ashley. Welcome in. It's okay. We're just getting started. We're just getting started. Chicken Alfredo. That sounds good too. So I used to work at Red Lobster and they had a Cajun chicken Alfredo and it was just Cajun seasoning. So you get it like at the store. Next time you make it, I promise you, you'll not be disappointed. Put the chicken in, put the Alfredo in something, and then put some of that Cajun powder, mix it together, then pour it on your lettuce or on your pasta. It's the best. It's the only way. Don't you bully her out of that bed. We just got started. She likes to bully the other one, the brown one. Okay, so let me pull up. I don't even know where my tabs are. Let me pull up this here. She did. She stole her bed. I'm going to have to get her another one. Of course, they're going to have me up. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me just grab the bed from the damn dog. I can't ever say no to him. What do you want to ride? Come on. What's your bed? Oh, come on. Okay. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. She didn't want her bed. She's laying out on the rug out there. I'm like, okay. So, anyways, so this evening's gonna be a little unique as Betty is once again, out there sharing false information, doing the mostest. So we're going to confront, rebuke her claims that she's because she's out there, she's saying the mostest about people. I mean, she's making defamatory statements about various creators on the platform, not just this platform, but other platforms. So we're going to review a video of her. And we're going to look over her receipts that she posted, her receipt. And I'm going to show you it all. It's crazy. So basically this kind of started, hey, Exquisite. This started in Shrimp Fire. Welcome in. Hey, Mr. Rosebud. You didn't miss anything. I was just getting the dog to bed and the other dog just switched beds. Anyway, sorry. These dogs are crazy. They always get me whenever I'm by myself. I'm here by myself right now. So I always leave the door open for them. But so this is how this started. Well, Betty's been included in Seth's team. So we're going to be talking about the backside because obviously there's no new updates, unfortunately, for Sebastian, unfortunately. I wish I was here to say, hey, they found him, I had a dream the other night that they did. And I never have dreams ever. I don't have dreams. I just don't. I take sleeping medicine. I don't know. I don't have dreams, but they're very rare. But I had a dream that the other night we were in chat and someone said they found him. I was like, what? And I looked it up and it was like everywhere. And that made me feel. I woke up and I was like, oh, I wish that wasn't just a dream. So I wish it was better news. But at least we're here for the entertainment purposes of it, because Bullhorn Betty that's all she just is the mostest about everything. So a few nights ago, we were on live and Seth had set up a stream saying that Joe Petito was going on his live stream and that they were going to talk about Sebastian, I guess. So something in me said that I don't think he's going to show up. I don't think that this is real. I don't know. I just didn't feel right about it. I just don't really see Joe Petito doing that. Personally, that's just me. But I don't know. Maybe he was going to go on a show. But we haven't seen any receipts at all. No like emails saying I'm not coming now because of the threats, because he said he was getting threats. Now, I don't think Joe Petito's scared of a lot of people, personally. Isn't it funny how everyone seems to be threatened? I was just going to say that. Yep, everybody's threatened on Seth's team. But nobody's threatened over, with Chris and Katie. No one, no one's been threatened. If you're like me, I haven't. But I don't do shady dealings. I'm going to turn my camera off just for a second because I'm going to grab something while I'm talking. But so he was receiving threats. So they're saying that, sorry. So they're saying that's why he decided to go ahead and not do the interview with Seth. So instead, Seth played a video of Sebastian from SeaWorld for about 20 minutes. And this was back when Sebastian was, I think he was saying he was like 10. I think he said 5 years ago, but there's no way. There's just no way. And we'll listen to that because this kid doesn't look like he's 10. I mean, maybe, but I thought that they weren't together 5 years ago. I just thought of that because I was like, wait a minute, he did say that. Yeah, maybe. I don't know, DM. I just don't know why I don't know if he would want to get caught up in that whole mess of this case. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, this is a messy case. Like, yeah, they were still in California, he said. Yeah, that's what I thought. We're going to listen to that again. So I've been trying to get familiar with all the players. Is Barbecue Lady, is she still alive or? Okay, she might be. Let me log in. Because I think she blocked me. Like under I just put like my regular name, not my full name, but like just my regular name, Tanya, on there. I'm like, really? Let's just do it under. I don't want to do it under my store, so we'll do it under this. I just wanted to see if she was live because she's one of the little players in our game now. No, she's not live anymore, I don't think. No. Okay. Well, she wasn't live for very long. I thought she was going to talk like crap about Betty, but she didn't. So she says some stuff, but not really. So basically, Joe Petito, Gabby Petito's father, if you're not aware of who Joe Petito is, Gabby Petito, the girl that was unalived by her boyfriend, and it took the family forever to find her. It was a big case, huge case. They now have the Gabby Petito Foundation where they help missing kids be found. They do a lot of different things. I was looking on their website earlier tonight, and they work with a lot of partners too. So not only do they have their foundation, but they have all these different smaller or even just as big, I'm not sure, foundations that they work with for like, let's see, do I have it up here still? I do. Like they have different organizations for different needs. So partnerships, like they have the National Domestic Violence Hotline. They have this one here, Trenton County Search and Rescue. And I'm assuming that that's probably the one that would be the area that they would send Seth to, because this is the one that's like the missing out of all of these, like missing persons. You know what I mean? Search and rescue. So I'm assuming that he would try to hook him up with somebody from there, if that's what the plan was. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. But we're gonna all figure it out tonight together. So and sidebar, sorry. I found this video of like one of Brian Kohlberger's ex students, and I've never seen it before. I had to show it to you guys sometime. I'd never seen this person before though. So Betty said a lot in her live. I don't know if you guys watched it. We're going to watch some of it tonight, as much as we can stomach. But on YouTube, everybody always says, where's the receipts? Show the receipts, because we like receipts. We like to see stuff. Apparently, this is Bullhorn Betty's receipt. She went to JLR's channel, or one of the, or not channel, but I think he's one of the, for the mysterious disappearance. I think he's one of the admins in that group. So she sees this pinned at the top or whatever. And she thinks that just them putting this on there is going to cause so much threat to Joe Petito that he's not going to come and hang out with Seth anymore and do a live stream. I just do not see that I just don't see it. Do you know what I mean? Now, maybe he found out who Betty was. Maybe he remembered Betty. Maybe he remembered Betty up in Laundry's yard, because that's how I remember Betty. First time I met Betty, saw Betty in action, she was screaming at the Laundries with JLR and all these people. Because, boots on the ground. So Barbecue Lady is another lady that's included in this now, and she's from TikTok, so you'll hear her name tonight too. And she was live. I thought she was going to say some stuff, but she didn't. So what we'll do is we'll start off with Betty, and then make our way over to Seth's live, because I wanted to see a little bit of Seth's, just to see what him and old Tony was talking about. Old Tony Phony Baloney. But Betty, I'm using this under fair use. I'm going to pause it and commentate whenever I need to. Probably have to a lot, because she just makes you. I mean, she just always is saying something that's out of control. So, and I'll drop her link in the chat. They're not. No, I don't believe so. I don't believe so, Ladybug. Hey, D. Marie. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome on in. Get comfortable. Sit down. Hang out. That's my dog.
It's exhausting.
Okay, I'm going to put her on 1.2. Maybe I could put the captions on. Okay.
Today when she came back from her play date, she laid in my lap all the way home. Like usually she sits there and whimpers while we're driving. She didn't whimper all the way home. She was ready to come home. She was ready to get home. Lickety split. Hey, Jenna, it's nice to see you. We have
so her dog goes to like a babysitter? Where do you get that at? Sign me up. Rover. I know it's Rover. I have one, but man, I'm about to take my dog to see her.
Drama-filled bullshit coming yet again. And we've got receipts.
Now remember, receipts. I want to see them, Betty. Betty, why are you always in your bed, Betty?
I'm waiting for my mods to get in here, because I got one actually. If anybody walks in here, just tell them I will be right back. I need to send myself one more tidbit of information. Give me just a second. We're going to get started here in just a moment. And actually, I forgot I did send that to me by email. So I want to go through some of the receipts I have. Good night, or good afternoon, me and you, Miss Lee, Mom, Rebecca, Collier.
The way that she does that, no, don't you be stealing JLR stuff. He does that, I feel like. She does blame Jay's for justice. I was listening to Jay before this. Jay's like, I don't even know her. There's like a little gnat in here. All right, I'm going to have to get it.
So, of course, JLR and team, along with Barbecue Lady, have not only, this is what they did. They're like, oh, let me tell you, they need to know what type of people they're being associated with. First of all, I'm not a felon. I have not been convicted of felons like Jonathan Lee Riches has been convicted of. He is a piece of shit that has coordinated himself with J is for Justice, another.
Just want to say she's a woman scorned. She's a woman scorned, guys. Her and JLR apparently were having this relationship that nobody knew about but Betty. sorry, but that's the truth. And all of a sudden he's with Magnolia and Betty is feeling some type of way. She is a woman scorned if I've ever seen one. If I've ever seen one.
Wide open cooter, right? She had an affair on her husband, convicted of felons like Jonathan Lee Riches has been convicted of. He is a piece of shit that has coordinated himself with JS for Justice, another wide open cooter, right? She
like, what did she do? What is she brought into this for? Like, what?
She had an affair on her husband, divorced him, left her children.
No, she didn't.
And then decided to marry another man and decided to go sleep with Jonathan Lee Riches.
I was listening to her live and she said no to all of that. But I mean, you'll definitely have to go and check her live out. But
while I was seeing him. So this woman has a hard on for Bullhorn Betty because I called her out and got her in trouble with her husband. And of course, she lied to her husband like she lied to her prior husband. Thank you so much. So there you have it. This is what J is for Justice said. Joe's out. Shamu is in. Change of programming for tonight. Watch party on JS for Justice Discord. You are a piece of shit, JS for Justice. And trust me, your numbers, I don't care how big you get. When I have enough done, when I'm done with you, you're not going to get 1,300 people viewing you. You are the biggest piece of shit on here that has manufactured so many news articles that it's not even funny. News articles. But let's talk about this, okay?
Damn,
and listen to this. Now, we got JS for Justice. We have Barbecue Lady out there, which Barbecue Lady is going to get her own in due time. In due time. And I didn't send. Did I send the other one? Okay, you guys are going to have to wait because I got to send the other one to me. So now we're going to look at the one that.
Just want to say we're only 2 minutes in, but she right now is in litigations, like with a lawsuit. Her and another creator are going back and forth in lawsuits right now because Betty likes to sue people, apparently. Don't sue me, Betty. I mean, you don't want my stuff. You don't want it.
From the mysterious disappearance, from the lead person in the mysterious disappearance of Sebastian Rogers, that Ellie Mae disgusting piece of garbage that thinks she's hot stuff on, this is what Joe Petito said. Do you know?
So she is one of the admins on a Facebook group. She's just an admin on a Facebook group. As far as I know, that's all she is. I don't think she has a YouTube channel. I don't think she's got like anything like that. Betty is going hard tonight. Like she's just getting it all out there. Anybody that she's ever had any beef with, she's just like, because she's bringing up some names that I never thought she'd be bringing up. Like Jace for Justice and then talking about her cooter. Like, you are a grown woman. You are a grown woman, Betty. That's weird. It's weird.
Know that these people reached out to him and told him that they were going to dox his personal information, his home address.
Now, come on. Who doesn't know Joe Petito's where he lives, where he's at? Dox him. That's like doxing me almost. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want my information out there, but I do own a business. So obviously my business, you know what I mean? My stuff's going to be out there because I own a business, just like he has a 501c or whatever, the nonprofit. His information is going to be out there. You're not going to be able to like, unless, I mean, it's considered doxing still I guess if you get online and you say it, but it's not that hard to find his personal information. He doesn't try to be confidential. You know what I mean?
Going to cause problems with his foundation. They didn't tell him about us.
No one can mess with his foundation.
They threatened this man that if he came on to Seth Rogers' show, they were going to destroy Joe Petito and his foundation. That is what has been alleged here by Joe Petito himself. It's not talking about Seth. It's not talking about Tony. They literally threatened Joe Petito.
Like what'd they say?
Jonathan Lee Riches and crew.
What'd they say?
His just disgusting crew of people. I told Jonathan if he stepped in this case anymore that I was going to sue him. And so now I am going to sue him. I have claims against him for a very long time.
So she said, you better stop working on this case or I'm going to sue you. You better stop talking about what is up with these guys. Send them a cease and desist, Betty. What's up with you? You and Seth would be a good couple. I think you guys would be great together.
And this last little dig from him and his people, I am going to sue him in Pasco County where he lives. Not Tampa Bay, Pasco County.
Talking about doxing.
That's where the man lives. That's where I'm planning on suing him.
Okay, so she just said Joe Petito is going to get doxed, and that's why he didn't come on the platform and hang out with Seth. And then she goes on to dox JLR's location.
And
okay.
I'm going to be also including Miss Jamie Phillips in that lawsuit as well. So it's going to be, I'm over this nonsense. I'm over this thuggery on this platform. I'm over people trying to destroy an innocent man because they didn't get the attention that they wanted. This man worked very hard to make sure I have to sue people because I'm every day. You are irrelevant. That's why nobody listens to you. Go make your own channel. Let's see how many people listen to your hate-filled rhetoric. Probably hardly anybody. Probably hardly anybody. I'm so sick of this thuggery on here. And so Jonathan Lee Riches, let me be very clear to you. I know who's behind all of this, and I'm coming for you, sir. You want to do all this dirty stuff to me? You tried to destroy me. You lied to me for over a year, and you think I'm going to sit here while you have your friends destroy everything that this man is trying to do. He was going to talk about the Gabby Petito Foundation. All you did was hurt Joe and his advocacy for his daughter in such a ruthless and disgusting manner. Threatening him. We have a no tolerance policy here, and I don't have. Somebody get that actually, I'll do it. We have a no tolerance policy here. I want everybody that needs to be hidden. Thank you. We're not going to deal with this nonsense. J is for justice. You need to keep your legs closed first and foremost. Secondly, you and your misfits need to stop.
Even if she did do all that stuff, like that's her business. Why are you even bringing her into this? Like, where did she even come from in all this? Like, that's almost like, I feel like Betty's saying my name or something. Like, what the hell? You know, I mean, like, I dare her to say that I did some stuff like that, but you know what I mean?
Harassing Seth.
I wouldn't be as cool as Jay is. You know what I mean? Like, Jay's mad right now. I was watching her live. You can tell she's upset, but she's being funny and she's being Jay about it. But if that was me, I'd be wanting to rip through that screen. And I bet you she does.
And as a matter of fact, he's already sent all these people cease and desist letters. I think it's time to start executing some lawsuits against these people that want to just cause him harm for no other purpose than to show that they have the ability to cause this man harm. It's disgusting. Joe Petito did not deserve to be treated like that. They didn't tell them about what kind of people
Joe
they were working
like
with.
he would actually
threatened
with
to
you.
harm him and his foundation in order.
That ain't. Do you remember you trying to plant evidence in his daughter's case? Do you remember that, you and Olivia? Because I remember. Most of YouTube, if they were back around during that case, we remember. Do you think that Joe Petito would go on a live stream with a dude that's hanging out with her? Then you got me fudged up, because Joe Petito ain't doing that shit. He don't need to. He don't want to. I'm sure if he fired up a YouTube channel right now, he'd have more subscribers than me in the first hour. You know what I'm saying? She needs to stop herself. Oh yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Get him to not show up.
That's how they got their numbers. That's how they did their shit. They are dirty. They're all dirty. Dirty.
Let's be very clear on what these people did to Joe Petito.
Oh yeah, let me show you her.
I know for a fact, Barbecue Lady, which we are going to start exposing her nastiness, because she won't stop.
I meant to do that for you guys. I think you can. Let me see if it'll go back on replay. If not, then she edited it, because it almost seems like she edited parts.
Either. And she's obviously not going to stop until there's bracelets around her wrist, because from what I hear, she's already committed a few felonies in the process of doing this. So I hope whoever she committed those felonies against, I hope that they are taking legal action against her. I also found out that she...
Okay, hold on.
And if you guys want to continue to support him, then I'm going to ask you, don't support me. Okay. Because I can't take any more of this nonsense on here. You guys can leave.
We're back here, I think.
Crawling all over her countertop in a very unsanitary... which we are going to start exposing her nastiness, because she won't stop either. And she's obviously not going to stop until there's bracelets around her wrist, because from what I hear, she's already committed a few felonies in the process of doing this. So I hope whoever she committed those felonies against, I hope that they are taking legal action against her. I also found out that she was catering a party.
He's talking about Barbecue Lady now, right here.
Food while cats were crawling all over her countertop.
Barbecue Lady doesn't have cats. First off, Betty, she don't even have cats.
In a very unsanitary work environment. And she fed people that food. That is disgusting to me.
That's disgusting to you, Betty? Do you remember the story about Seth? Seth told it himself. Remember? Remember all the dirt, the hair, the bodily fluids that he put into that pizza that he served a man that had mental disabilities? And he was cool with that. You hang out with Seth, so that means you're cool with that. But you're disgusted with barbecued lady, supposedly something that you don't even know. To be fact, you've never even seen it. You don't have any receipts. You haven't shown not one receipt yet. We're 7:20 in. We're 7 minutes 20 seconds in. No receipts been shown. And that's what I hate about creators that don't show receipts, because they're all like that. I'm sorry, but they are. There's a lot of them like that. I'm going to show you receipts, and they'll get that chat full and they won't show a damn receipt.
That is absolutely, utterly disgusting to me.
Not an email, not a receipt.
But you know what? In good fashion, the show is going to go on. I can tell you that there is going to be, it sounds like we're going to be going through some stuff that you guys haven't seen, such as Sebastian Rogers' day at SeaWorld, for this horrible father that hates his son, that just deserves all of this nonsense from these idiots on YouTube. You know what, Jay is for Justice? I hope you get your laugh, but I also hope you get some.
I mean, it's SeaWorld, dude, when he was 7 or something. Like, I mean, I'm not saying anything bad, but I'm just saying, even fathers that abuse their children, they still take them places sometimes. You know what I mean? And do things with them. Not saying this is the case at all, but I'm just saying she's not very smart when she talks. Like, she's not very educated.
Divorce papers soon.
She doesn't think
rightfully deserve it. How many more men are you sleeping with behind your husband's back? I mean, I'm just curious. I mean, was Jonathan the only one? How many more were there? How many more were there, Jay? How many times did you smile in my face, young lady?
She said she's never met her.
You are a disgusting human. I mean, just a hollow piece of shit of a woman. You have no care for your own children, let alone anybody else's. Why did you leave your children behind, Jay? Does the whole world know that when you left your children? Or is that just Betty must have this wrong, right? You left your kids for a man, and then you cheated on that man. And
none of this is true that I've heard.
On Seth, a father that's missing.
Now, I don't know Jay is for Justice personally, but I'm going to take her word over Betty's. Sorry to Sam. And her husband's even in the chat, and she's like, I don't even know. They were just making jokes about it, making light of it. I would want to go through the screen, from what I heard anyway. And I'm sure she wants to go through the screen to her. But Betty goes after her so hard. Now, maybe, I know that Jay said that her and JLR were friends. Like, they worked on a couple cases together, or they talked about them. Maybe JLR talked about Jay is for Justice a little bit too much whenever he was around Betty. I'm not saying that he did, but I'm just saying maybe he did. And maybe that's where she's getting the Jay is for Justice's name. It might not even be necessarily from Jay. It might just be guilty by association.
Missing his child when you left yours?
Oh, Phantom, no, he didn't. I don't think he's actually got to sue Jesus, but he was close. I mean, he had Trump on there, Kim Kardashian on there. I'm surprised Jesus wasn't on there.
Keep going, boo-boo.
Boo-boo.
Keep going. And you guys are happy that you hurt not only, like, you don't even care who you hurt anymore. You guys hurt Joe Petito.
I think I could do the captioning right.
Where every single one of you assholes got your name.
There we go.
You guys make me sick. Absolutely, utterly sick.
We make her sick.
They were going to be talking about Gabby Petito's foundation tonight and all the great work that they were doing, but you guys have to ruin everything. Everything. Why? Because it's not your fake bullshit?
Do you think that they need, do you think that they need that? Let's see. Do you think that they go on national TV all the time, let's see. Let's go to Seth Rogers' page. We're going to see how many views. 10K. Do you think that 10K views is going to do any? I mean, it'll get the word out, but I'm just saying they already on their own they have a huge platform. They don't need Seth Rogers, YouTube page. It's just very crazy. Thank you again for gifted memberships, Mary Beth. That's so sweet of you. Thank you so much. It helps the channel. It really does. Thank you, guys.
That nobody's here listening to, except Jonathan's bullshit, which is half right, half wrong. It depends on what day what mood he wakes up on the side of the bed. What a low life. You guys have just turned yourself from actually being decent people into being no different than the hate channels that used to attack you. You've turned into everything you used to hate. You guys are sick in the fucking skull. Sick in the skull. What the hell is wrong with you?
She needs to produce like just one receipt.
You people. You always have to be up at everybody's shit. You're like, oh, it's not on my channel, so let's tank it. This man's not even making money. His channel's not even monetized. But I guarantee you would make sure that everybody that came on your channel, I bet you get that click. I bet you get that view. I bet you get that money. Don't you, boo? All of you. And Seth doesn't even have a monetized channel, and you guys are still. Does he have the requirements to be monetized? Of course he does. Of course he does. But you know what? If we're going to continue to allow the swamp, the slimy swamp of these social medias to actually dictate, and here's what Ellie Mae says. Joe Petito deserves to know what type of people he's aligning himself with in his foundation. Let him know.
This is your
Ellie Mae.
No.
Ellie Mae. Let him know.
Is this? I'm going to show you right here. Is this it? This Facebook post on a page with people that 40,000 people are on. They probably scrolled by this, didn't even think twice. But I mean, Betty, do we need to talk about some stuff? Can we talk about some stuff here, Betty? Because this is, I just don't see it. I want to see Joe Petito emailing saying he's not coming on.
You mean threaten him? You mean call him nonstop? She's on TikTok, Karen.
She's on TikTok.
Barbecue Lady's on TikTok. She lives in Pennsylvania, where they're not allowed to record conversations. Just saying. And she likes to record a whole mess of conversations now, doesn't she? If I have to think about it, I think she's probably got about 5, 6, maybe 7 felony charges that could be potentially wielded against her for that. How many other people have that lady recorded when she's unlawfully able to do so? It's not, people on this platform don't mind committing crimes. We're trying to stop criminal activity.
Betty, you're silly. You're silly, Betty. You can record calls in Pennsylvania. It's just a 2-party consent state, which means either you or a recording before you come on the telephone has got to let the other person know that they are being recorded. Not that you can't record someone, Betty. Not everybody does it dirty and grimy and scummy like you, where you don't let people know. You know what I'm saying? We're not all like you, Betty. We're not all like you.
Activity. We're trying to expose criminal activity, but usually our victims are either missing or deceased.
She's not talking about criminal stuff because she's the criminal.
They think, oh, ha, ha, ha. Like a missing boy, a 15-year-old missing boy. Never mind what Gabby Petito had to go through in her short little life, and they are making a mockery of both. A mockery of both. And you know what? Who's it helping? Oh, I bet you it's helping their little bellies. Oh, look what we were able to do. We were able to destroy a man and almost destroy a foundation. Hyenas. Hyenas. Absolute hyenas. And for them to do this to a man that's just trying to advocate for children, that's trying to use that advocation not only to help others, but to find his own son, is despicable and deplorable. It's not admirable. It's not admirable. And I told you JLR would do this. And he hasn't been talking because he's a behind-the-scenes kind of guy. He's a behind-the-scenes kind of guy. That's why he has so much power, is because he's so secret about everything. That stupid bee, Magnolia, has no clue who she's messing with, and he's going to all kinds of screw up that girl's head, but she's probably just as screwed up as him from what I hear. She has mommy and daddy issues. Like her mommy and daddy didn't love her enough and kicked her to the curb, and somebody had to adopt her. Okay? I get that she's had a rough life and stuff like that, but to be a piece of garbage and try to stand behind God doesn't do stuff like this. You know who does stuff like this? Evil.
What's she talking about?
That's what does stuff like this. Not God. You think, look at Jonathan, since he's been with all black all the time. Occasionally he'll throw out his little crucifix so he looks like he's a Christian man. That man is the furthest thing from Christian. That man is the devil himself. And you guys are too blind to see it. He will manufacture information for clicking on you. He has done it. I did not know he would.
He usually wears red shorts. You can see him whenever he sits back, like in the desk, because it's like an L shape, I think. I've seen his red shorts multiple times. So I don't know what you're talking about wearing all black, but okay. He's not mourning you, Betty.
Was doing it.
But what about the t-shirt that you made with like all of the other creators on it that don't like you? And you have their names on your shirt. That's weird.
I saw it for
Thank you, Abigail.
myself.
Thank you so much.
Didn't you find it funny? Oh, look at this anonymous poster. Oh, look at Mary Smith. Look what Mary Smith posted. Those were all JLR's postings. All of them. He posted them under his troll accounts or anonymous people on these things where he has all of his friends as admins. And then he's able to quickly go over there and have commentary on this nonsense. And every bit of other work he does, what makes him a web sleuth, is everybody else's work. You think he could function without Magnolia? Of course not. She does all his work. Just like Olivia and I did all his work before. He sucks. He uses people for content. And she's just too desperate and too stupid to realize she's being played like a fiddle. But this was disgusting. This was a low blow, an absolute low blow to two dads that were going through a lot of similar things. And for them to literally attack Joe Petito. They didn't go there to tell him about us. They literally threatened to destroy his foundation and to dox him. That's what was threatened against Joe Petito. And I just want to make sure that everybody is fully aware of what actually transpired. So
and we're going to see receipts of this, right?
All these people that are laughing and saying, oh, we're so happy. Look what we did. I just want you to know what they really did.
I just want to see a receipt, one.
What they truly did.
Just one.
They didn't tell him about us.
Anything.
They told him about him. And if he didn't comply, what they were going to do to him in large numbers. That was the leverage that they put over Joe Petito. And
what did they say? Hold on.
If it's the leverage that they, and if he didn't comply, what they were going to do to him in large numbers. That was the leverage that they put over Joe Petito.
You had nothing. You
and it's my understanding that he will be addressing it as well.
Okay, well, I'll have to see that.
But I just thought that was pretty disgusting. A poor display of the pieces of shit of YouTube and TikTok at full force. And the dirty crap that they do to innocent people for no other reason than to destroy. Destroy.
Man.
It's sad. And if you guys want to continue to support them, then I'm going to ask you, don't support me. Because I can't take any more of this nonsense on here. You guys can leave in the droves from this channel if that's what you guys stand for. If everybody here stands for that kind of nonsense on this platform, please unsubscribe from me because I am over it. I am over the abuse of innocent people for no other good purpose than to destroy an innocent person. It's sad. There's no place on it here in the true crime. These are junkyard junkies, okay? And they need to go back to the fucking junkyard.
No, yeah, Bullhorn, you need to go with your batteries and your Bullhorn, and you need to be stepping because you're not true crime. This isn't what we do.
All of them. They're no good. Tell me what J is for Justice has ever gotten right outside of stealing other people's work. Please. I mean, prove me wrong. All she's ever done is bring in things that have been debunked after debunked after debunked after debunked. Nothing she says on her channel ever maps out. Yet she has over 100,000 people going to her channel listening to her horseshit. What?
Jealous.
What has she gotten right? I'll wait. Please send it to me. Please send it to me.
Jealous.
She has it. Jonathan Lee Richards. Let's talk about him outside of him working with me and Olivia. What else has he ever gotten right? He's got nothing right.
Oh, are you mad at Olivia too? Because they all got YouTube plaques but you.
Danilo Cavalcanti. He was more of a hindrance than he was a...
Isn't that something? Out of the four of them, 3 of them have that, that play button, that YouTube silver plaque. But one of them only grew to have 33,000 subscribers. Ugh. That probably stings a little, Betty, out there blowing that blowhorn. Day in, day out.
Help. How did he help? He was reporting.
And the thing is, you get the views because people hate watch, but they won't subscribe to your channel. She has 15K on this video. She has 33,000 subscribers.
But he was trying to imply he was actually helping.
They're like, we're not staying.
And he was not. He was not.
Yeah.
All these people over and over again constantly do wrong. They consistently do wrong. They do it for the wrong reasons. And now that the light has been shined on it, I'm no longer part of the pack, right? I have no problem throwing them under the bus when they do wrong.
She's no longer part of the pack.
They had a wool over my eyes for a very long time. But again, divine intervention. My car got broke down for 3 months. And I was able to take the blinders off and see very clearly as to what was going on because I finally had the time I needed to look into everything.
She wasn't covering this case until she saw it got big. She didn't cover this case for the first 3 months.
And what I found was absolutely appalling, disgusting, and quite frankly, it made my stomach turn. It made my stomach turn that they were willing to do all of this. Send out bunk information, manufacture videos that show Tony playing with himself. Like, come on. It was all
listening to baby crying, having that blasted into somebody's yard, with lights, having the cops called out there for over 30 times, all of that stuff. Oh, look at this. Rosemary. She done called me out in the chat. Look at that, Rosemary. Someone named Titanium Bill put Seth videos on her channel. Seth videos, what are you talking about? He had one video. And trashes him nonstop. I stay away from that. I made it. I don't even know who that is, but I've made it. Thank you, Rosemary. Thank you. I don't put Seth videos out because he doesn't have any. And if he did have something of Sebastian, yeah, we would love to see that, like something of now. And trashes him nonstop. I barely cover this case. Barely cover it, girl. Barely cover it. I can tell you how many times on one hand, and actually, yeah, in the last month that we've covered this case twice, I think. I'm gonna look right now.
Because when they passed around the background check and that didn't do the job, right? Sounds pretty familiar, doesn't it? Almost like the attacks on Trump. Are they using the Democrat playbook here against Seth? Are all these people that used to scream MAGA truly lied to us? Because I don't know any respectable person that acts like this. Just saying. Just saying. So JS for Justice, are you getting your laugh now? How much damage control are you going to do with your husband now? How many other men were there? I mean, we know about Jonathan.
Like,
so how many more?
Why does she care?
I know about.
Like, why does she even care?
I bet you I have the number, don't I?
I'll be damned. Oh, I know how many people. That's weird. That's you are talking about. I don't know what's up with all y'all and your sexual innuendos too. I mean, y'all are just weird. But you have Sebastian in the title, which I do too. But you have Sebastian in here, and you're talking about this. I have it in here, and I'm trying to promote. Like, don't be watching this. This is. I don't know. Feels like there's a difference. I probably shouldn't be doing it either. But look at her. All she's talked about was JLR, Joe Petito, J is for Justice, and everybody that's done her wrong. She might as well just said something. I don't know. She might as well just got on here and just said, "Hell no."
Things I know.
That should have been
things I know about a lot of people.
Things I know.
It's my job. I don't use it until I need to.
It's my job.
It's called leverage, right? It's one thing that I do very, very, very well.
So she's saying right now, if she ever meets you, she's going to dig into your life, get whatever she can get on you, whatever dirt. She's going to keep that in her back pocket just in case you ever do her dirty or you don't want to be her friend anymore. So she can rip it out on YouTube and tell the whole world about it.
When I learn things, I keep them in my back pocket until they're needed. If they're not needed, they stay in my back pocket.
What a friend.
Just saying. It's kind of how it rolls over here. People know that I'm a no-nonsense type of person. And when I deal with all of this stuff that I'm dealing with, you know, I feel like there's these people, and they're always the people that have the largest numbers. They all have to feed off of one another. I stand alone. I don't stand with a pack. I'm not going to stand with a pack except the coffee club. That's the only pack I care about, right? Because we're all here for the same reason, and that's to find answers. That's to advocate. That's to do what we can do to make sure that these people that we cover go out far and wide. Everybody says I only talk about cases that are big cases because we make them big cases. That's what people fail to tell you. Sebastian Rogers was not a big case. Sebastian Rogers was not even being seen by hard.
He was a big case there, Bets, before you even came near it. Before you even came, you and your freaking broken down car.
Anybody. It was social media that brought him to the forefront. Me being part of it. Okay?
She was not part of that. Nope, no siree, no siree, no siree. No. No, you were not. I know that Trev Time was out there. I know. Trev Time was the one that brought it out. I came out a little bit after him. I think it was like the first week of March is when we started covering it because one of the subscribers reached out and said, "Will you cover this? It's close to like home."
Jennifer,
no idea that this case was going to do this. I was like, "Yeah, I'll give it." I thought we'll do it one live. It'd be one live, and they'll probably find him. And blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, it's like been this, and I'm like, Terry Dean, what'd you do? What'd you do to us, girl?
Had no help. She was begging for help. Begging. Nobody was taking her daughter's case seriously. Olivia and I stepped in. She went viral. Her mother has been able to now have her own.
Olivia and I stepped in. She went viral. You've got to read in between the lines here. She's mad.
Platform where she can advocate not only for her daughter, but for other children. So why is Seth not afforded the same opportunities and rights as every other parent that uses these platforms for coping mechanisms? When they can't help their own child, they try to help somebody else. What is so wrong with that?
Nothing at all.
These hyenas on here will not let this man breathe for whatever reason because he hurt their feelings. Well, let me hurt your feelings a little more. You're a freaking whore. And you can't keep your legs closed.
Is she talking to all of us? I guess she's talking to all of us.
Maybe if you just tried for 1 minute, you wouldn't be such a piece of shit that you are, JS for Justice.
Oh, JS
and that goes for Barbecue Lady as well, with all her kids and different daddies.
Oh. Why do you care?
JLR is just a disgusting individual that now looks like the freaking devil and is all black outfits with occasionally him bringing that crucifix. He can't touch his heart because it might burn it. So he's got to keep it on the outside of his clothes so it doesn't touch his skin.
Why are you watching him like that, Betty? No one even said anything to me in the chat. No one talked to that lady because no one knows me. Good job, Rosemary. Good try.
I've had it with the bullying of innocent parents on here. And until the audience starts saying enough's enough and unsubbing from these assholes that do nothing but destroy families, I'm over it. Unsub from me. Unsub from me. If you can't unsub for the problems on this platform, then you don't deserve the good parts on this platform. So please, by all means, everybody can go right out there. It's very simple. He doesn't even blink. He's I didn't realize how fucked up the guy was. He's on some type of medication. I don't know what's truly wrong with him, but there's something clearly wrong with the man. Mentally. I didn't know it. Like I said, I was bamboozled. I was, blinded. It is my fault. I acknowledge that it is my fault that I was too blinded to see. But honestly, I was in love. So, when you're in love, I guess you don't see what you need to see. But you know what? I got knocked on my ass. What can I say? And then I tried to rise above all of that. I tried to rise above every bit of it. And then I find out that he cheated on me for literally a solid year before I ever even knew about it. And
I didn't even know they were together. Did anybody know? I mean, I don't even think JLR knew. I want to ask him kind of. Maybe I should email him and be like, hey, did you even know? Like, seriously, dude, did you know that you were dating? Oh, JLR. This is all about her relationship with JLR that nobody knew about.
You know what? I still tried to rise above that. But one thing I will not rise above is somebody intentionally and willfully trying to hurt an innocent person for no other good reason than their stupid ass hurt feelings. And then bringing their friends on the ride with them and sending them stuff and having them do their dirty work. I just want to know all these women that are all on Jonathan. Do you like being on your knees? Because I know you're on your knees more than you are on your back. So please just explain it to me and make it make sense.
Well, no, Betty, it could be both. It could be both. You can be equally as much on your knees as you on your back. So let's just get that straight. Bets. Don't be talking about people like that, Betty. Be a lady. You're supposed to be in true crime. Could you imagine if I came on here and said some of this stuff? You all would freak out. Y'all would be like, what? I mean, but you could be on your knees and on your back at the same time. I mean, like not the same time, but different times. Come on, Betty. Yeah, and how do you know that, right, Harlow? How do you know that, Betty? She mad tonight.
Because I know this was an attack from Jonathan, and I know all of his little tentacles and who says what. And it always leads back to JLR when it comes to this case. Can you explain that to me?
He's sneaky.
Can you explain that to me? Every bit of it. Always comes back to him. Every bit of it. Yeah. Thank you, Sonia. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Stacy. Don't forget to hit. We have 142 likes, and we have 745 people in chat. You guys are getting a rare form because I have just had it with the bullshit. To do this to Joe Petito, this is a person that I care highly about, especially the work I did with his daughter, being threatened by these hyenas. They didn't go and tell him, oh, you know, about the horrible people that we're working with. What horrible people? I wasn't the one in federal prison for 10 years and a 3-time felon like Jonathan Lee Riches. I've never been to prison. I've been arrested a few times. I've been convicted of 2 DUIs, both 6 years apart. And those were over 2 decades ago, 20 years ago. 20 years ago. What people are they talking about? Freaking Tony has an impeccable history. I can tell you his history is better than mine.
Hold on, Betty. Hold on, Betty. No. Sorry, I had to grab a drink and I was like, no. She totally tried to plant evidence in that case to get close to the Petito family. Her and Olivia, and I will find those videos if I need to on those clip channels. They have all the receipts. I don't have the receipts, so you know what I mean. You gotta just kind of take my word as of right now. But let me write that down. I'll find some clip channels that have it. Maybe I can do it while we're sitting here. Olivia, Betty, Gabby, Petito, just so I can remember to look it up because I want to show you guys the receipts. But yeah, she didn't do any work for that case. I don't know why she says stuff like that. And she's like, I got 2 DUIs, but they were 6 years apart. Like, just own it, Betty. It's fine. I mean, you know, it was 20 years ago, you said.
30 years ago.
Oh, 30
Oh, my
years
God.
Oh, she bounced a check 30 years ago.
Let's stop. We have a 3-time convicted felon telling a man that has a bounce check from 30 years ago, you're worse than me. And everybody on this platform actually believes it. That man has done nothing but damage Seth and Tony since he got his feelings hurt. And people are too stupid to realize it. And now he's got all these people, including Justin on TikTok, right? Justin on TikTok. I'm going to call him out too. No offense. I love Justin on TikTok. But you can clearly see the demeanor that Justin on TikTok has had since his association with Magnolia and JLR, a 3-time convicted felon, a fraudster, a person that knows what makes people tick, right? Somebody that knows how to get into somebody's checkbook without
He literally wrote a book about himself.
Them knowing. That's
I forgot to buy it.
Kind of fraudster he is. The sweet little boyish looks and the scams. Much like what he does on here. And if he doesn't get his way, he tries to seek and destroy. And he does it all behind the scenes like he has for years. You guys know he's done it for years. You guys turn the other cheek. Well, it's time for you not to turn the other cheek anymore because not only is he damaging Seth, him and his crew are trying to damage Joe Petito and trying to control Joe Petito and where he goes and where he speaks. That is so un-American. And so communist Chinese party dictatorship.
So sorry. I didn't mean to laugh in your guys' ears. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. The closed captioning, it's on. Yeah, the closed captioning is on. I don't have it on. I can't put it on my, like, I don't think I can put it on my thing, like my actual live right now because of the latency I use. Like, I have to look into it. Like, my quality of my video, I think it does something to it. It, like, makes it funky. But I do have the closed captioning on for Betty, so you'll be able to listen to her. It's just out of control.
Try to control enough speech. That is so un-American.
So un-American.
And so communist Chinese party dictatorship.
She's suing TikTok right now too.
To try to control another person.
Or she wants to. I'm sure one of you guys in the chat knows.
And if they don't comply, this is what they are going to do. They're going to destroy. I'm not even going to get into Dolly. Dolly's just a dumbass.
I know. Like, look, people just, that's what they do. They just they feed it. Subscribers can be just as bad as creators, if not worse. I'm sorry, y'all, because some people be in those chats like, look, Ren, who are you? Dolly is jealous. No one was even talking about Dolly, but she just wants to throw that name in there so that Betty would go on a rant about Dolly. Like, the chat, heaps it up, makes it like throws names out there, makes it to where, you're right, Betty, you're right.
He smokes too much pot. And he looks like he's been using some other substances other than marijuana. Just saying.
Oh, Betty, I didn't hear that one before. Oh, you can't be saying that. Betty.
From what I've been able to preview myself.
Look at you, Betty.
Oh, and Jolly was trashing Joe
calling the kettle black. We can't be talking about each other like that.
Yesterday.
Karma's ugly.
Wow. Trashing Joe Petito yesterday. So now you guys see it. It's all about the clicks and views. They're going to keep running to the people with the most clicks and views. And those people are dirty ass people that got those clicks and views by lies and scams. And when they want to attack, they all coordinate behind the scenes, much like Queen Bee and her people, right? Like they did to me. Must be taking their playbook. But they're not all involved. Okay.
You think JLR and Queen Bee are working together? You have got to be out of your damned mind. I mean, I've heard it all.
Seth changed his because once we found out Joe was not there, it was just there's no point in having the same thumbnail.
Absolutely, Carl.
Joe was only going to be on here for like 10 or 15 minutes talking about the Gabby Foundation. That was really it. It was just to give him a platform to talk about his daughter, and they destroyed that. I mean, I want you to think about that. We're all here. We all came together predominantly because of Gabby Petito, and they literally just strong-armed her father. They just literally just strong-armed her father. And literally told him if he didn't comply, they were going to destroy him and dox him all over the internet. His personal private information.
She should be.
This is what you guys want to support? I mean, if it is, that's horrible to me. Absolutely horrible.
Imagine the. I don't know if anyone remembers, but I mean, because this is old news, but it's not. But does anyone remember when Lana went for like 30 court cases and she had like the same judge presided over all of them in Ohio? All of them, same judge. If I was that judge, I would have ripped my hair out. I would have said, "You're just guilty of it all. Just get away from me." Because YouTube creators are sensitive. Or something, but everyone's like lawsuit, automatic lawsuit. Like what? We don't have money like that. We're YouTubers. We don't have money to be suing people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going out of my house to have to go to court to sue y'all. Sorry, unless we could do like a Zoom court. I'm not doing it.
Well, my heart bleeds for Joe Petito. My heart bleeds for Seth Rogers, and I want to damn the people that did this, that don't care, that doesn't care how that has made both of these fathers feel, what it did to them inside of them.
Where's your receipt?
And they're all over there laughing. Oh,
no one's laughing.
This shit show in our Discord.
No, that's what Jay for Justice said. Yeah, she said Shamu's out, something's out, Shamu's in, meaning like whale, because they were going to show SeaWorld. They're going to watch it in her Discord. That's what they're going to do. I don't know. It sucks, I guess, but
so funny.
I don't understand. It's not. It's Betty's going to get sick of this once it starts taking money out of her pocket. Doesn't she realize that?
Evil. This is pure evil. When I wouldn't comply with their bullshit, they doxed me. They literally put a roadmap to my home so some crazy lunatic would come here and hurt me. That's what they did.
You're still here. Unfortunately, it didn't work.
Stood strong.
Allegedly. Sorry.
And it's very upsetting that until people are going to start being stronger and denounce them and tell them to go F themselves when they start threatening, I don't know what will. I don't know what will. But I think it is absolutely come to a head here in this community that there has got to be a line drawn in the sand. You're either going to be with evil people or you're going to be working with good people. And people need to make that decision. And they need to make that decision sooner than later, or this kind of conduct will continue on this platform.
Or how about you just don't work with anybody? You do your own damn thing and you call it a day. How about that? How about that? How about that? I mean, that's an idea.
And we know who it's coming from. I got receipts. We have Barbecue Lady literally on her TikTok telling everybody to do that.
She's going to pull up her cell phone, Jonathan Lee Richards style. Okay, let's see.
Which is associated with this group. And then we have everything coming from J is for Justice, which we know is connected to JLR.
Okay, where's the
and the mysterious disappearance of Sebastian Rogers' group, where they're absolutely advocating for people to reach out in mass numbers to Joe Petito just for wanting to talk about his foundation.
I didn't see any of that.
And this is all
33 minutes, 16 seconds in. Betty, you have no receipt.
You
haven't shown not one. This is not a receipt, Betty. This is not a receipt. Oh, what she got here? Oh, Jay right here. Yeah, and that's just what she said. Jay, Joe's out, Shamu's in. She meaning like Shamu as in like, the whale, like, So that's what she's got on there. Those are her receipts. That's her receipts. These are them. Come on, Betty. Anybody knows those are not receipts.
Who? Let's look.
What about an email from Joe Petito? How about a phone call? Anything. You guys are so good at recording stuff all the time.
Now, do we? We want to make sure that they're nice and I will never plug. Look at that. Who's that? Oh, is that J is for Justice with that bullshit?
Joe's out, Jamie's in.
But not as much as encouraging 40,000 people in their Facebook group, like Ellie Mae Farmer, the biggest problem on Facebook when it comes
to that. That isn't even. Oh God, that's terrible.
Allowed to advocate for missing people on Facebook. These are pretty stinking solid receipts where the problems are coming from. Literally demanding 40,000 people to reach out to Joe Petito in the droves, but they didn't. They didn't talk to them about Seth or how horrible Seth is or how horrible Tony is. No. If you go on, this is what we are going to do to you. We're going to dox you. We're going to make sure everybody knows your home address. Oh, what? You guys think you could threaten the man and he wasn't going to tell the people how he was threatened? Yeah. He had no problem spitting out why he could not come on the show and the reasons why. And citing that he had no clue how ruthless it was and how toxic it has gotten on YouTube. That's pretty bad.
Betty, no offense to Sebastian Rogers, but Gabby Petito case was freaking huge. I mean, that case it was the first time that someone got like 1 billion views or something on TikTok. Like she was the first person to get that. Like, what are you talking about, Betty. Joe Petito knows how the internet works.
That is pretty stinking bad. Once
again,
I just
don't believe her.
Jonathan Lee Riches and his misfits strike again and try to destroy. Because every last one of them is part of Jonathan Lee Rich's team. So how many blowjobs you get?
She's never teamed them up before. Like Jay said that she's like, I've met Jonathan Lee Rich's before. She's like, but we've never done that. She's like, we've been friends, like we've worked together and stuff. But Betty is saying, no, they were doing all this stuff. And I'm wondering if it was like if she's referring to the Gabby Petito time, like around that time, because I know that they were like at one point, I don't know if Betty was there, but Jay was there. And I think Jay was there in front of the Laundrie's house with JLR. And Betty happened to be there too. I just don't know if they were there at the same time.
There, Jonathan. Are you keeping in contact with Magnolia? Is she back in Palm Beach? Are you ignoring her too? Do you disappear on her? Do you not answer your phone with her? Are you with those other women in those back, behind Chili's in the back seat of the car there, Jonathan, Mr. Christian guy? Just asking.
Oh, Betty.
I got all the secrets. Just asking. I don't know. I'm curious.
I don't even know.
I'm not saying it's happening. I'm not saying it's happening. I'm just curious if it has. Would you tell old Bullhorn Betty if it had? I'm just asking. A couple women out here, they don't care if you're with Magnolia. Just like Magnolia didn't care that you were with me. They're willing. You want me to have them meet you up there at the Chili's? Should I order you guys a round of margaritas with a nice salty rim for you there, Christian man? Oh, Chili's. Don't forget, cheap bastard. Right? The twofer special with the margaritas. Always a hit with JLR. Oh.
She must know from experience.
Oh. Always a hit with JLR. How's that local Chili's? Hey, Magnolia. Have you been up at that local Chili's? I kept wondering why he had to sit so far away from me when we were at the Chili's, but I didn't know about you for a solid year. Now I just realized you must have been up there because, he was acting funny every time we went into Chili's. And I was like, well, why are you acting so funny there?
What is she talking about?
Got it.
Lord, she does. Magnolia does some
watching his
sweet
bank
smart.
receipts, or you're reconciling his banks. Do you know how often he goes to Chili's? Man, that sucks if you see him at Chili's once a week and you're in Palm Beach. Come on, Jonathan. How often are you going up to Chili's? Come on, tell us. There's only 835 people in here. We want to know.
She's
we
so mad.
We want to know about these Chili visits.
So apparently, did Betty have some drinks before her live or something? Because she's like acting like little white girl wasted here. Like she's letting all the secrets out. Like JLR apparently cheated on her with somebody at the Chili's, and apparently it was some stuff going on in the back seat of the car.
Sorry, a Chili's is near and dear to my. I haven't been to Chili's since I left you. I'm just saying,
I left you.
It doesn't have the same.
Is that what she? Is that what she said? Did she say since I loved you? Because we all know that ain't true. Let me rewind that.
Flavor of you. 135 people in here.
Let's
We want to
see
know. We want to know. We want to know about these Chili visits. I'm sorry. A Chili's is near and dear to my. I haven't been to Chili's since I left you.
Since I left you. No, Betty, you didn't leave him. Don't.
I'm just saying. It just doesn't have the same flavor it once did.
Ew. Sorry. What is she talking about?
Hopefully, this stuff calms down, but I think everybody needs to be.
What? Betty, I'm not even going to get into that. I'm not even going to jump into that.
Kicking up a fuss about this because this was not them telling Joe
Petito
about.
And that's what's going to be next.
Seth or about. Tony's record is impeccable. Let's be honest, okay? He's got an impeccable record. He has no criminal history that's been touted around.
An impeccable record because he hasn't been arrested before. That doesn't mean he knows what he's doing.
Don't know that yet. Let me just tell you that.
Actually, we don't know if he's been arrested before. I haven't done a background check on him.
History for a 40-year-old black man. And they didn't even try to change the date of it either. It clearly said 40-year-old black man. I kept pointing that out. And everybody's like, oh, no, that's Tony. I'm like, no, it's not. So I ran Tony's background background check myself.
Oh,
I didn't even see the checks that came up on my background check because it was so far back. But he did acknowledge that it was like from 30 or some years ago. And I'll be honest with you, I still have a bounce check with Walmart for $23 and I think 76 cents from like 1960 or 1999, 98. So what? I don't know of anybody that has not had at least a bounce check once or twice. Unless you're a millionaire, which none of us are. Well, if you are in my
me, but I don't write checks. But I did at one point. I did write checks at one point. But I'm me.
Chatted, you are a millionaire. I do take donations. I just thought I'd throw that
I'm
out
not a
there
millionaire.
To all my millionaires,
It's called balancing a checkbook, Betty. That's what it's called, honey. If you bounce a check, when you're bouncing that shit. It's never on accident. It's hardly ever on accident unless you think money's going to be in there and it doesn't go in time. But normally when you writing them checks, if that thing's going to bounce or not. You're just like, please take the check for the love of God, just take it. But not me.
No,
I've never done
it. Just in case you guys want to be a sugar daddy or something like that.
Oh my
Betty's
God.
single. I'm just saying.
Betty's single.
I'll give you kisses here. Right?
Oh, please never do that again. I'll pay you to not do that ever again. I'll pay you.
I'm just saying. So, we have to. One of the purposes of me coming here was to let you guys know truly what happened. And
what
it was
happened?
Really sad and upsetting to me, as you guys can imagine. I know I'm making light of some of it, trying to make it uplifting, as opposed to how horrible it truly, truly was that people would do that to a man.
This was uplifting.
His daughter, that just wants to talk about his foundation.
I can only imagine being Jay's for Justice right now, and her husband too, because he's not even involved in. I don't even think he's on YouTube or anything like that. Oh my gosh! Like, Betty has she has no proof of anything that she has talked about tonight. Nothing, not one piece of proof other than a screenshot from Facebook saying that Joe shouldn't go on Seth's show or something. Like, that's it. That's not a receipt, Betty. That's not evidence. That's not a receipt. That's not doing nothing. Now, if Joe Petito had really called Seth or Tony, or wait, he called Seth and then Tony called him because Tony wanted to make sure also that he wasn't coming because that's smart. He calls Seth and says, man, I'm not coming. I was being threatened. So his PR guy calls him and says, oh, you're not going to come? Why not? That sounds like professionals, right? And then I bet maybe Betty called. But Joe knows who Betty is.
You know, people like, they don't care what channels they go on. They care about the audience and how many people they can get information out to.
Yeah.
And then I hear comments about how Joe Petito's making money off his daughter and all this other stuff. And it's horrible.
He's fine.
Yet all these people can talk about anything they want to, and they can do it on.
No one's ever said, I've never heard not one person ever say, ever say anything bad about Joe Petito. Never. Show me, Betty. Show me.
On monetized channels, and they have the audacity to talk about a parent that wants to set up a loving foundation to help other people, and that is a money grab now. So we should just say all these nonprofits, or we should just say, oh no, the only people that are allowed to make money off of them are the people that don't know these people, right? They're the only ones that can set up something in the honor of their child. But no, they can't do it. It needs to be a stranger that does it. So they can make the money. They can have their nonprofit, but a real, true person that has lost their child's not supposed to.
No, I always feel that if a parent should be behind their missing child, that they should be the spokesperson for their missing child. Not no Tony Baloney, though. You don't bring someone in that you don't know to talk about your child in a missing persons case. I'm sorry, you just don't. You don't. Unless you're the freaking Lindbergh baby back from the freaking early 1900s, and you know what I mean, they had money. Like, come on.
It's beyond disgusting. It's beyond.
You're beyond.
Absolutely intolerable in our civilized environment. And we need to start getting back to what we're willing to accept as human beings. We all have morals here. Okay? I did not realize a lot of this stuff, and I know people are going to twist the words and everything like that, but you guys know how hard I've been working. I mean, hell, I was on the road for 2 solid years. I had no clue what was going on. I had no clue the wolf in sheep's clothing that I was with. I had no clue. She
wasn't on the road for 2 solid years.
And then all of a sudden, all this stuff breaks off.
She has a puppy,
and then my car breaks down. And I sat here literally for 3 months. I had nothing better to do than to watch everyone and to see what was going on.
Do you guys remember? I didn't tell you, but you guys might remember this. Do you remember Jay is for Justice was saying that she thought Betty made a second channel, and it was a comment. It was like a they're like, I don't know, it's supposed to be like just like Jay's channel. Now I'm wondering if this is all tying into each other, because like I forgot about that. And now she's talking about Jay again. Like, I'm thinking that I'm gonna have to ask Jay about that. About her the other page that Betty runs. I don't know if you guys know it or not, but there was a page that Betty runs, and it's not Betty though. She says it's not her, but it sounds like her with like a voice changer. Is that what it is, TJ, the podcast? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think she ever shows like who she is on there. So yeah, that'd be like more of like a podcast. The Lindbergh baby. Yeah, that was crazy, wasn't it? That was like one of the first kidnappings, I think.
On. And it was like the blindness. That's the part about, I was blind, but now I see. It's reality. Like, I can see, but I don't think that's what they're talking about seeing. And
Betty,
I learned very much from being in the mysterious disappearance of Sebastian Rogers' group exactly what JLR was doing and exactly what his friends were doing. It was so clear on its face when I started monitoring and watching every little thing, because I had the time. I wasn't sleeping well because of all the stress. So I was literally working about 18 hours a day, and I was able to see exactly.
Not a chance in hell she would be working on YouTube 18 hours a day.
Exactly what I needed to see, and that was when
I
had abrupt, and you guys know a very, very loud abrupt exit from the crime, because you know what, I didn't know it was crime.
2 channels.
I thought it was really true crime, but I realized that there is true crime on this channel, and that is not.
Well, I mean, I guess unless she's just that bad,
or on this platform, and what we're getting from them is not it. And what I used to think was acceptable was no longer acceptable for me. And I'm hoping that you guys say it's no longer acceptable for you too, because what they just did to Joe Petito, of all people, was an abomination. It was disgusting. It was thuggery. It was vile. It was bullshit. And it needs to stop. Trying to control the will of another person you do not know is literally the most un-American and most third world country dictator bullshit you could ever do to a human being. And that is exactly what they did to Joe Petito. Now, in an hour, I hope you all still come over and support Seth Rogers and his show. I think it's going to be, you guys are going to see something that you guys have not seen before. Why? Because none of these assholes have what Seth has related to his own son.
Yeah, I don't have the video from 10 years ago of him dancing at SeaWorld. Well, actually, I do now, but you know.
There is that. So if you would like...
Personally, me and myself, that's just me. I think that the videos of Sebastian being a baby and being young and putting them on your YouTube is like really cute. I love like seeing little baby, like, you know, photos and stuff. But we need to see now things. We need to know him now. We need to know what Sebastian likes now. We need to know what Sebastian was doing the last 6 months before he went missing. We need to know what he was eating, what he was drinking, what he was talking to, who he was talking to, how he was talking to them. And all the things need to come out, because obviously he was talking to somebody or he was doing something. I don't believe in my heart of hearts that any of the parents had anything to do with their kid disappearing. I really don't. I don't know what happened to Sebastian. I have my theories, but I don't know what happened to him. And I don't know if he's, you know, out there and we're going to end up, you know, he's going to end up popping back home. Just like, I mean, this girl was only missing for a little while, but you know, the girl that was just missing in California, her dad like took her, but still like she was missing, and she was found. There is hope for, you know, kids to be found. Today marks 5 months since Sebastian went missing. So it's been a while, guys. It's been a while. I hope he's out there and I hope that he's safe. But if he's out there and he's safe, then why hasn't he called home by now? You know what I mean? I just don't see, I don't even see Sebastian as a kid that would like run away, really. But if he did run away, like I could see him almost like maybe initially running away. But then once he figured out exactly what was going on, like what he was doing, like, okay, I'm running away. No, and he would turn around, come back, I feel like. Like, I feel like he would do that. He would just, I don't know. I would do that. I would weigh my options out there and then I would be like, okay, no, I'm going to go back home. I mean, that's just how I would think, but it's really sad. I mean, it's really, really sad. I really wish that they would come to some sort of like the investigators would come to some sort of like theory or something that they could give us a press conference, even if it's just like hey, we have nothing, or not. But I'll say that because we don't want to hear that. But you know, like just come forward and just be like, hey, we're working on it. Some, you know, just something like that. Like we're working on the case. Where you know, the FBI is working on this case in conjunction with the TBI and all of that. A lot of people keep floating around. Seth is floating around a flyer for people to sign to get the FBI involved. They are involved. They've been involved. I mean, it's right on the TBI website if you ever need to find any information out about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Let's put his picture up here for a minute. Man. And then I was looking at the Amber Alert status. Just nothing new. But it had some questions at the bottom. I'm going to read through these tonight and see what they were saying. Actually, we'll go over here and look. So this is all related to Sebastian. Like these are questions that they had answered. I think we went through these before. I just don't remember it. But I'm pretty sure we did go over it before. But this will tell us what, like some of the stuff that you guys might have like you may have this question and not know what the answer is, or you may think you know what the answer is, but maybe it's not. You know what I mean? Because YouTubers can sometimes get things wrong. And I know a lot of people are watching YouTube right now to get their information about Sebastian. So it says, what areas have been searched? Within the first several days of the search, more than 2,000 miles were searched on foot. Many of these areas were initially searched and searched again. This is an older article. I don't know when they last updated it, but law enforcement officers have searched the neighborhood surrounding neighborhoods, schools, and many other areas of the county by foot. Bloodhounds and handlers have searched the same areas. There have been aerial searches with helicopter drones and a fixed wing plane. These aerial searches have been conducted on multiple days and multiple nights using thermal imaging technology. Sebastian's residence, the yard, the house, the vehicles have all been searched multiple times. The neighborhood where Sebastian lives has been canvassed. Neighbors' houses have been searched. Sebastian is autistic and his family says he is drawn to water. Pools in the neighborhood have been searched. Dive teams were brought in and the bodies of water around the neighborhood and beyond that area were searched, including caves. What about technology aspect? Have you collected security video from the area homes and businesses? Have cell phones been checked? Many neighbors and businesses have provided video from home and business surveillance systems. We are grateful for that cooperation. The video has been collected and from the beginning of the investigation has been analyzed and enhanced when possible by tech experts with the TBI, FBI, and Secret Service. Can't get much better than that. To date, nothing gathered from these video systems have been determined to be significant. We do caution that some surveillance video being shared in the public may have been misinterpreted or misidentified or not shown in its entirety. It has been determined that it does not hold any evidentiary significance in the investigation. Numerous search warrants have been executed, cell phone data has been analyzed, and any other available digital evidence has been collected, searched, and documented. Information was collected from Sebastian's gaming system and has been analyzed. So right there, it's been analyzed, and I guess it's not going anywhere. With help from the FBI, vehicles that were placed in the area at or around the time of Sebastian's disappearance have been accounted for. These videos and all electronic evidence have already been reviewed, is often also being re-investigated. What's going on now in the investigation? What's next? The search for Sebastian has not stopped. Everyday tips and leads are investigated. People are being interviewed and re-interviewed. Evidence that has been reviewed once already is being gone over again. We continue to ask residents in the area of the search to keep an eye on your property to see if anything may have been moved or displaced. Is this a place where a child could have hidden? If you have property that has ledges or holes that a teenager might find interesting and you can't search it yourself, please contact the tip line and we will have someone check it out for you. If you know Sebastian, have information about him, what he likes, how he acts, that you think could be relevant, let us know. You know how many people are that's crazy that they're asking for people. I've never heard of anyone asking for information about what he likes, how he acts, that you can think might be relevant. Like normally you get that stuff from the family, We know how many people are so very invested in getting Sebastian home. We will update this information as there may be any developments. Please use the tip line at 1-800-TBI-FIND to provide any relevant information you may have, or send it to tips to TBI at tbi.tn.gov. Finally, we are extremely grateful to so many members of the Sumner County community for the time, attention, and prayers being offered to help find Sebastian. The members of multiple law enforcement communities, emergency management personnel, wildlife organizations, so many other groups, along with the very generous businesses and individuals who have provided well wishes for Sebastian, along with water, food, other comforts to searchers. All these contributions are so greatly appreciated. Thank you. And then there's the pictures they have of Sebastian. There's with his puppies. Look how cute those little dogs are. Look at that snake. Oh, man. Every time I see it, Nope, not a day in my life. I'm not good with snakes. I'm not good with reptiles. Hey, Stephanie. Let me see. I haven't looked in the chat in a while. Sorry, guys. What was the update they were saying? I haven't seen any updates on Sebastian. We could go over to the Facebook page really quick before we jump off here. They have, I think I'm part of 3 of them. Okay. Mysterious disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. Right here, this lady, she's like, where's the receipts? Regarding SeaWorld YouTube last night, has anyone heard or seen anything where Mr. Petito himself has stated that he was even threatened? I don't care what Seth, Tony, or BHB has to say. I want to know if Joe himself has spoken to anyone and told why he didn't go to on the YouTube last night or given a statement or anything. I am curious to know if he was even threatened at all. Also, it strikes me as odd that we never see any more recent up-to-date pictures or videos of Sebastian. Well, that's because Katie and them have them all. You know, I mean, really. Hide him as well. Wow. Someone thinks that, parents did something to him. There's this. Maybe Nick Beers. It said 5 hours ago. Okay. It says update. If there's no damn update on here, I'm going to be mad. There's probably no update. Probably that's 5 months. The 15-year-old has now been missing for 5 months since he disappeared from his Hendersonville, Tennessee home. Sadly, there is nothing new to report. He remains missing. In this information vacuum, rumors continue to run wild. Several of you messaged me today to say a YouTuber is reporting the TBI has taken over the investigation. Who said that? Does anyone know? No. I spoke with Sumner County Sheriff Sonny Weatherford today. He assures me that SO remains Sumner County, I guess, remains the lead agency in the investigation. Nothing has changed, but he adds that there's been a working partnership with the TBI from the very beginning, which continues. Just like the FBI, the TBI gives you resources, offers resources and stuff. He vanished with, of course, most of all law enforcement agencies across the state and beyond are on the lookout for Sebastian. He vanished without a trace. To date, there have been no credible sightings, but you never know when an important lead may surface. Man. I don't know. I'm just reading the chat. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Thank you guys for coming tonight. Appreciate it. Pina colada? I want a pina colada. Just without the alcohol, though. I was reading the chat. Trying to go back up a little bit. That's a good question. Well, remember back when CrimeCon was going on and there was that rumor that Seth Rogers was at CrimeCon and he met Joe Petito and they were going to meet up and they were going to do an interview together. But Seth was never at CrimeCon. And then all of a sudden he has this interview with Joe Petito. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm going to say something when it doesn't make sense. I usually keep my mouth shut, but tonight I was feeling a little feisty and I was like, yeah. Which we're going to go over some Sarah Boone stuff tomorrow. I was going to go over tonight, but I think we'll go over tomorrow. Maybe I'll try to get the suitcase out and do an experiment tomorrow during the day since it's Saturday. But we'll probably do a different case tomorrow. We switch up cases. So if you're new on this channel, like one night we may do Sebastian, the next night we may do something different. We usually don't stick on the same case like more than 2 to 3 nights in a row. After that, I'm ADHD. My brain will start going over here. It'll be a pile of mush. But we do a lot of cases. We do have a lot of cases that we cover on the channel. We are covering Sarah Boone, Idaho 4, Sebastian, of course, Long Island or Gilgo Beach. We were covering and I was going to cover it, start covering it again because stuff's coming out. Corey Richards and Shanna Garner, we covered them in the beginning when they first happened, like the cases, but there's more information coming out now, so maybe we should go back over them and like get everybody re-familiar with those because they're going to be going to court soon. They're in court as well. So those are some of the cases. What else do we cover? We cover all kinds of stuff. I just can't think of it. Madalena Kuchikari, missing girl out of North Carolina. We cover a lot of cases. We do. We definitely do. We've been covering, what was the other one I was just going to say? Crystal Rogers. So I think we might do that tomorrow. I'm not sure. We'll either do, I don't know. I've got a few. So we'll either do Sarah Boone, Crystal Rogers, or Idaho, because there's another podcast out for Idaho. And then there's this video I saw with this former student, and I don't remember. I know that I think I've seen this once, but I don't really remember him. So we can always look over that again. People are still talking about that Sonia Massey, the lady that was shot by the officer. We covered that like the first night it happened, and it seems like no one covered it up until like a couple of days ago. Now people are talking about it. Like 29 minutes ago, it says in here, someone posted something about her. Autopsy report, I guess, came out. I wonder if there's anything in her system. Does anyone know? No, I feel like I need to look that up. Where was it? Oh, damn her. I think I missed one of Barbecue Ladies' lives because we were live. Okay. But thank you guys for being here tonight. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps. I'm like, I can't even speak at this point. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all the things. I'm going to start doing some more pre-recordeds. I have a bunch of stuff I wrote down. I'm going to, for members lives, members stuff that's going to be switching up on the channel. Just like little changes, but they're good. They're good. And we're going to do some more stuff for the members and stuff like that. So, it's going to be great. But thank you guys all for being here tonight. I do appreciate it so very much. Don't forget, if I don't see you this weekend, have a great weekend. Have a great weekend. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Bye, guys.